The sun sinks behind the skyline, painting the city in golden hues, but Peter Parker isn't here for the scenic view. He's just discovered there's a new stilt man in town, and that means trouble. Moments ago, he foiled a 10th floor break-in at the Chase building because, really, why would tonight be simple? The fight was quick, efficient. The guy even got a good shot in. Impressive for a stilt man wannabe. But was he tougher than the original? Meh, Spidey's taken worse. But what mattered wasn't the fight. It was the time, because it burned something Peter Parker really doesn't have. He perches on the rooftop, glancing over the city, letting the realization sink in. Stiltman? He never stood a chance against the amazing Spider-Man. But against Peter Parker? That's a different story, because while Spider-Man walks away with a clean win, Peter just took a massive L. Peter Parker has a date tonight. And as reality sets in, the panic hits. He peels off his mask, already pulling at his suit, knowing he's very late. And then, where are my shoes? Yeah, this just keeps getting worse. Outside a sleek, upscale venue, Shay Markin waits. She's standing tall, arms crossed, looking sharp in a black dress. She's been waiting too long. Inside, the restaurant hums with warm lighting, laughter, and the clinking of glasses. A perfect date night atmosphere. But the guy she's supposed to be on a date with? Yeah, he's currently sprinting toward her, out of breath, and missing his freaking shoes. Shay, you're still here! Peter stammers, his face lighting up with awkward relief. Her eyes widen. Peter? Yeah, it's him. Sweaty, flustered, apologizing before she even asks. Sorry I'm late. Her gaze drops. Where are your shoes? Peter hesitates. Think, Parker. Think. I kind of stepped in it on the way over. She doesn't even react for a second, just blinks, slowly. Then, with a deadpan tone, yes, you did. Peter lets out the weakest laugh in the history of nervous laughter. Yeah, this date? Off to a fantastic start. Peter Parker has faced some terrifying things in his life, but tonight might be his scariest challenge yet, disappointing someone he cares about. He rushes toward the table, slightly out of breath, tugging at his already wrinkled shirt. Sorry I'm late. Shay doesn't even glance. Again, Peter exhales, shoulders sinking as he slides into the chair. Right, again, sorry. Finally, she looks up and immediately zeroes in on something. Her sharp gaze tightens. How'd you get a black eye? Peter blinks. Huh? What? I don't... His fingers brush his cheek on instinct. Do I? Oh, crap. How did that happen? He asks himself. She's unimpressed, unmoved. Peter? Yeah, this date? It's already on life support. Peter blinks. What? Shay doesn't let up. This is our third date, and the third time you've either been late or had to rush out early. Her expression is unreadable, but her words are sharp. Third, poorly thought out, rushed excuse that makes it clear you don't want to talk about it. Peter rubs the back of his neck, forcing a sheepish smile. I know. I need to learn how to use a calendar. Shay cuts him off, eyes steady. I think you're trouble, Peter Parker. But Peter tries to spin it. The fun kind of trouble. Shay doesn't even blink. The cute guy I've been dating maybe has a secret second family kind of trouble. Peter's eyes go wide. Oh my god, a second family? Can you imagine? He throws his hands up dramatically. I have my hands full letting down one family, and it's just an ant. Shay doesn't flinch. Her stare is unwavering. How'd you get the black eye, Peter? Peter straightens up, serious mode engaged. I'm going to tell you the truth. A pause. I can't tell you. Shay stares, blank, expression. A waiter literally stops in his tracks, caught in the awkward tension. Shay finally speaks. Wow, what an answer. Okay. I accept that. Peter exhales. Crisis averted. Tap water okay? The waiter asks, holding up the pitcher. Tap is great. Disaster. Maybe avoided. Shay leans forward, smirking now. Okay, how about this? If you can't tell me how you got a black eye, can you tell me why you have a black eye? Peter hesitates. Oh, that's a good question. Why? He actually considers it. Let me think about this. Okay, I take on a lot of responsibility for other people's well-being. Shay leans on her hand, eyes playful. Too much responsibility? Peter hesitates, rubbing the side of his face. Well, I mean, probably. Not exactly the world's most convincing answer. Shay isn't amused, not one bit. She leans in, eyes sharp. You know you have a responsibility to yourself too, right? To make sure you're getting what you need and want? Peter closes his mouth, stops, thinks. I guess I stay so busy with the other stuff. He trails off. What would that even look like? Shay exhales, folding her arms. Well, if you had a date with someone you liked, who you found attractive, Peter jumps in, a small hopeful smile forming. A date like this one? Shay's gaze doesn't shift. Sure, if you say so. But Shay continues, voice firm. If that was the case, you would take that date seriously. Make time for it. That's taking care of yourself. Peter leans forward now, his own thoughts spinning. And what if doing the other thing feels too important? His expression softens as he says it, but there's an edge of frustration too. If it feels like I wouldn't be taking care of myself if I wasn't taking responsibility for everyone, there it is, the real Peter Parker dilemma. Shay lets out a slow breath, shaking her head. Then you do that instead, Peter. That's fine. Her voice quieter now. Just don't pretend you want whatever this is. Shay doesn't hold back. I wanted to see you tonight, so I showed up to Ravencroft an hour early and did all my night work just so I could be here on time. She leans forward, listing off her efforts like an exhausted checklist. I changed Hippo's water, clipped Manbull's horns, got Mindworms and Joystick's meds out of the way during my lunch. Peter listens, not sure where this is going. I busted my hump until 5 o'clock. And you want to know what the point of it all was? Peter braces himself. The point was to get here on time, because if I think someone is special, I want to show them that. I want to act like it. I take it seriously. She folds her arms, looking away, frustration giving way to something more vulnerable. Shay's voice drops. That's my responsibility, to myself, and to whatever this is. She exhales. I don't know, this is stupid. For a moment, silence. And then Peter moves, a small, simple gesture. He reaches out and places his hand over hers. Peter's voice is steady. I want this. I want to be here. Shay looks at him, genuinely surprised. The walls she had built around this conversation start to crack, just a little. The moment lingers, the two of them just sitting there, hands resting together on the table. Then, Peter's expression changes. His eyes shift, just slightly, towards something outside the window. Shay notices. Peter? Her voice is hesitant, almost afraid of the answer. Behind her, chaos erupts. The glass reflects the world outside. Rhino, mid-rampage, Screwball, taking a selfie in midair because of course she is. A car is already totaled. The street is a battlefield. But inside, Shay's face says everything. She already knows. What is it? She asks, even though she doesn't need the answer. She already sees it in Peter's face. The night is over for them. Peter's heart sinks as the words leave his mouth. I've got to go. Shay blinks. What? He hesitates, but there's no way around it. There's something I have to take care of. Shay exhales, shoulders falling. The weight of everything, the late nights, the rushed excuses, the feeling that Peter is always somewhere else, presses down on her. Peter's expression softens. Okay? A pause. Then finally she nods. Sure? But there's no reassurance in her voice. Peter rises from his seat, pushing the chair back. Peter? He pauses just for a second. Shay looks at him, tired. This has been fun, but I can't. She trails off, shaking her head. She doesn't need to finish. Peter lowers his head. I understand. That's all he can say. She looks away. See you around. And just like that, it's over. The restaurant fades behind him as Peter rushes into an alley. A door slams shut. His fists clench at his shirt, yanking it open. The Spider-Man suit flashes beneath, but his face, it's not the mask of a hero. It's exhaustion. It's frustration. It's regret. One last glance over his shoulder. He knows what he's walking away from. But Spider-Man doesn't have a choice. Peter Parker is gone. Only Spider-Man remains. The streets are chaos. Rhino is on the rampage. Cars flip, pavement cracks, and in the middle of it all, Screwball is having a blast. Stop running, Screwball, Rhino bellows. You wanted a rumble. Now you've got it. Screwball flips midair, barely dodging a charge. If I was moving any slower, I'd be standing still, Rhino. She adjusts her helmet, sighing. At this pace, I won't even be able to string together a few seconds for my reels. Rhino scowls. I have no idea what that means. He doesn't get social media. He just knows he's mad. Hey! Someone new enters the mix. It's Peter, and he's had enough. Can you guys cut it out for once? He storms onto the street, still in his half-buttoned shirt, looking like a man who really didn't want to be here tonight. Rhino blinks. You know this guy? Screwball shrugs. Nope. How about we take a pace-the-mouthy normie break? Rhino cracks his knuckles. Sold. Peter's eyes go wide. Whoa, I'm just saying. Wait. Rhino steps forward, fists clenched. I'm on a date. That makes them pause. Just for a second. Peter exhales, running a hand through his hair. I'm on a date, okay? It's not going great, and you guys aren't helping. They both stare. Peter sighs. You don't know me from Adam, and I don't know how this stuff works for supervillains, but I can't imagine meeting someone is any easier for you than it is for me. A beat. I've already screwed this up twice, and this feels like my last chance. Like if I show up for her tonight or she's gonna walk, you know? His voice softens. And I like her. I feel like myself around her, and she smells nice and laughs easy, and he looks down, almost embarrassed. And I can't show up for her if you guys keep this up, so please, just once for tonight. Peter crosses his arms. Can you two knock it off? Rhino looks at Screwball. Screwball looks at Rhino. A pause. I'm on the apps too, man. I get it, Screwball says. If you got a good one on the line, you gotta make it happen. Rhino frowns. Apps? Honestly, what in God's name are you talking about? Here, I'll show you. Screwball pulls out her phone. You seeing anyone? Do I look like I'm seeing anyone? Rhino mutters. I can help you set up a profile. That horn come off? Rhino shrugs. Yeah, big first step. She nods. Peter stares, completely baffled. What just happened? The scene shifts to the restaurant again. Shay sits alone, eyes down, a menu in her hands. Sorry, maybe I'm just not hungry. She sounds distant, lost in thought. Then, a familiar voice. Shay? She looks up. Peter's back. She blinks, surprised. You're back. Peter takes a step forward, heart pounding. Shay, whatever this is, I want it. And I want... He exhales. I want to... He looks her in the eyes. I want to kiss you. A moment, a small, slow smile from Shay. Okay. They kiss. Soft at first. A hesitant moment of, is this really happening? Then, it's happening. The restaurant fades. The noise, the people, the weight of everything before this moment. It all disappears. The world is just them. And in the background, the waiter, looking as if he's seen far too much romance for one night. The kiss finally breaks, but the warmth lingers. The waiter, still standing nearby, deadpan as ever, asks, should I bring another menu? Peter barely pulls back from Shay, smiling. Yes, definitely. They sit, finally together, finally present. A pause. So, Shay says, glancing down, still processing. Peter smirks. So? Another pause. Shay tilts her head, grinning. I guess we're doing this. Peter leans forward, matching her expression. I guess we are. Through the restaurant window, Peter and Shay sit together. Not as strangers, not as people fumbling through a complicated night. Just two people, figuring it out. A quiet moment. No superheroics, no disasters, just them. Down below, watching from the streets, a familiar voice smirks. I gotta say, that is pretty damn sweet. Cut to Screwball and Rhino. Yep, these two are still at it. Rhino squints at his phone. Did you put super villain as your occupation? Is that bad? Screwball tilts her head. No one is gonna swipe right on that. Put disruptor. What's your real name? Rhino exhales. Alexei Mikhailovich Sitsevich. Yeah, that's tough. Let's go with Vic. Sounds cool. Rhino scratches his head. It does? Yeah. Here, if you like that photo, I'll show you how to crop out the horn so no one suspects a thing. And with that, Spider-Man's night may have been chaotic, but love is still in the air. And that's a wrap. Peter Parker somehow survives another night of romance, regret, and Rhino learning how to swipe right. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more Spidey chaos, and ring that bell so you never miss an issue.